In the dead of night, at 3:20 a.m., the quiet of Pine Valley Ranch was shattered by a sharp crack that echoed through the darkness. A man in a mint green polo shirt hissed, "You broke the gate, Dylan." That was the wrong lock. To an outsider, it might have looked like a Black Ops mission. Members of the Willow Creek Homeowners Association, dressed in khaki shorts, armed with flashlights, clipboards, and a laminated HOA manual, slunk across the damp grass. Their objective: deliver 3 violation notices to preserve the pristine order of their suburban domain. Unbeknownst to them, inside the barn, snoring like a chainsaw and gripping a loaded shotgun, was Sheriff Jack Ramsey, a newly retired, newly divorced lawman who'd just been roused by their clumsy trespass. Jack's eyes flew open as flashlight beams cut through the barn's slats, the scent of hay heavy in the air, a half-smoked cigar dangling from his lip. 40 years on the force had honed his instincts: act first, think later. He grabbed his shotgun before his boots and nudged the barn door open just as a polo-clad man knelt to measure the ranch's mailbox with a glowing tape measure. Jack didn't bother with questions. He cocked the gun, the sound slicing the night like a blade. The HOA crew froze, heads whipping toward the barn. A clipboard hit the dirt, papers scattering like startled doves. One guy, a lanky man with a buzz cut and a dubious scorpion tattoo, bolted but tripped over a sprinkler, face planting in the mud. Jack stepped into the moonlight, shirtless, grizzled, and radiating fury like a gunslinger in a dusty western. "You got 10 seconds to explain why you're measuring my damn mailbox before I start listing my violations." The group gaped, caught between fear and disbelief. Dylan, the ringleader, stammered about Rule 7C, unauthorized modifications, but his voice broke when Jack took 2 steps forward, shotgun steady. "You broke my gate, trespassed after midnight, and I'm pretty sure you spooked my mule. That's a rap sheet, boys." By sunrise, 3 of the 4 HOA intruders were zip-tied to porch chairs, sipping coffee poured by Jack's mother, Grandma Pearl, who believed hospitality extended even to trespassers. The 4th, Dylan, had made the mistake of calling his mother during the chaos. His mom, Victoria Steele, the HOA president, a woman with the charm of a viper and the legal cunning of a cartel lawyer, roared into the driveway in her BMW. At the same moment, Jack's daughter, Claire Ramsey, pulled up in her pickup. Both women stepped out, eyes blazing, ready to throw fists or lawsuits, whichever came first. Claire, in her 30s, with a steel jaw and the grit to fix a tractor or argue zoning law, spoke first. "Ma'am, I'd love to know why your HOA goon squad broke onto our ranch at 3 a.m. Victoria, in stilettos and a pearl choker, didn't flinch. "Your fence is fire engine red, an unapproved color, and that rotting chicken coop is too close to the road. My team was enforcing standards." Claire's voice sharpened. "They broke our gate." Victoria shrugged. "Civic duty." Claire pointed to a soggy garden gnome. "They pissed on our gnome." True story. One of the HOA guys, paralyzed by Jack's shotgun and existential dread, had an accident on the gnome Claire and her brother, Luke, had painted as kids. That gnome was sacred, and the insult was personal. Jack sauntered up, shirt on but unbuttoned, cigar smoldering. "Victoria," he growled, "take one more step on my land, and I'll cite you for invasion under Section 11 of the Texas Land Act." "There's no Section 11, she spat. "There is when I say so." Inside, Luke, 28 and neck-deep in a doomsday prepper phase, watched from an upstairs window, binoculars in hand, a tinfoil hat nearby, just to mess with the HOA. He ran a niche podcast about neighborhood conspiracies, and this was his Super Bowl. Word spread like wildfire, thanks to Grandma Pearl's knitting circle, the town's gossip hub. By noon, locals rolled up in pickups, toting lawn chairs to watch the drama. One guy sold T-shirts reading, "Free the mailbox." Another passed out flyers declaring Pine Valley Ranch a sovereign state. A blog claimed Jack had taken hostages and declared martial law with a side of biscuits. Claire, desperate for order, called the sheriff's office, forgetting her dad was the former sheriff, and his old deputies were either golfing or too loyal to cross him. No one was touching this mess. By dusk, Victoria filed a cease and desist. Jack countered with a claim that the HOA violated the 1994 Ranchstead Exemption Clause, a dusty law he kept laminated in the barn. The fight was on. Claire sat on the porch with a beer, eyeing the HOA patrol cars parked just beyond the property line, headlights glaring like wolves. Jack stood beside her. "They'll come back," she said. "Good," he replied. "I sleep better when the enemy's sweating." A drone buzzed in the distance. The HOA wasn't done, and neither were the Ramseys. The next morning, Pine Valley was a tinderbox. The local Facebook group, usually a cesspool for lost cats and compost complaints, erupted with memes and grainy videos of Jack zip-tying HOA cronies. Victoria went nuclear, holding a press conference on her manicured lawn, flanked by banners screaming rules are order. With a nervous lawyer at her side, she branded Pine Valley Ranch an anarchist stronghold, calling the rooster a weaponized nuisance. At the ranch, Jack hammered the gate back together, shirtless again, while Grandma Pearl muttered about Victoria's Botox. Claire stared at a stack of HOA citations fines for the fence, a menacing scarecrow, even the roosters crowing. Luke paced, live streaming to his 9 listeners. "They're escalating. Classic tyranny." Jack slammed a rusty box on the table. "Found this in the shed. Your granddad's." Inside were yellowed papers and a deed for Pine Valley Ranch. Claire's eyes widened at a clause. The HOA couldn't regulate ranches with 12-plus livestock and a resident law officer. "Dad, you're retired," she said. Jack smirked. "Badge is in the barn." Never resigned. They had 11 chickens and a mule, 1 animal short. Luke bolted, returning with a borrowed turkey from a neighbor, setting it in the yard like a secret weapon. "Liberty Turkey, activated." Claire sent the clause to the HOA, certified mail. Victoria got it, and, for once, was speechless. But she didn't stay quiet long. The next day, the HOA retaliated, fining anyone who interacted with the Ramseys. A neighbor got cited for her cat napping near the ranch fence. The feed store guy was warned for delivering straw. Luke's podcast became a resistance hub, his flyers reading, "Don't let the HOA steal your straw." Locals brought animals, ducks, goats, a one-eyed llama with an attitude. The ranch became a fortress of fur and defiance. Then Dylan's brother, Owen, spilled a secret over coffee with Claire. Mom's planning a midnight compliance sweep Saturday. Private security, the works. Claire's eyes narrowed. "Why private security for a fence dispute?" Owen shrugged. "They think your dad's unhinged." Luke overheard, grinning. "We're the rebels now." Jack just checked his shotgun. Saturday night, the ranch braced for war. Grandma Pearl baked cookies for morale. Locals brought chips. Luke handed out walkie-talkies with code names like Turkey Blitz. At 11:59 p.m., 2 black SUVs rolled up. Men in tactical polos spilled out, armed with tasers and clipboards. A drone hummed overhead. Then the mule brayed, and all hell broke loose. Jack stepped into the headlights, deed in one hand, shotgun in the other. "You're trespassing on protected land." The lead guard muttered about code enforcement. Jack fired a warning shot skyward. The animals erupted. The turkey charged, the llama spat. A rogue ferret named Rogue climbed a guard's leg. Grandma Pearl lobbed a cookie, nailing a taser-wielding goon in the face. Luke's livestream hit 6,000 viewers before it crashed. By dawn, the guards were gone, feathers in their hair, dignity in shreds. Owen, smitten with Claire, handed her a bombshell. HOA financial records showing Victoria funneled funds into a personal sauna and a shady compliance seminar. The internet exploded. Reporters swarmed Victoria's lawn. Residents demanded her resignation. A guy in a goose costume held a sign, "Foul Justice." Victoria resigned. The HOA dissolved, and all citations were voided. Pine Valley threw a party at the ranch fireworks, a petting zoo, and Grandma Pearl's spiked cider. Claire announced a run for county council. Luke got a streaming deal. Jack moved back to the house, his shotgun retired, his badge framed. A new sign went up, "Private property. HOA free since 2025. Trespassers get cookies." The war was over, but the legend of Pine Valley Ranch and its defiant turkey would live forever.